What's going on, good people? Adrian Homeboy Holmes here to welcome you to the new season of Super Gamer Book Club. New season? Where's the old season, I hear you say? Well, you can find all the episodes of the old season from our original book club host Zetch on our Patreon. And you can also find the newest episodes of season 2 with host me, ding, on Patreon as well. Me, Garrett, and a special guest every month choose a game and we go over it and talk about it in a shorter, more informal kind of setting. It's almost like we're just hanging out and telling what we liked about the game, what we didn't like about the game, so on and so forth. So we decided this is too cool to sit behind Patreon for all of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the older episodes and put them out on this free podcast feed for you guys. And if you want to check out the new episodes of stuff that we're doing, you can go and subscribe to our Patreon for only $1 and you get the brand new book club episodes when they come out. That's all I got for right now. I hope you enjoy the episode and I hope you come to see what we have on Patreon. Take it easy and enjoy the show. What's going on, good people? We did it. We made it. At the very last midnight hour, March 31st, Super Gamer Book Club. We promised it was coming, and it's here. Oh, I'm so relieved. I did not. It was looking shaky for a minute, man. I so much stuff has happened this month that was like, I was joking that it's the universe that was trying to just stop us from recording this episode for some reason. I have no idea what we did or who we pissed off or anything like that, but we're here. And of course, it's not just me, but of course it is Mr. Morlang, who is always here with me, my book club co-captain. Hi. And returning from the shadows of the internet, our good friend Normcore Eddie, Mr. Eddie Martin, has graciously decided to hang out with us to talk Streets of Rage 4. How we doing, good sir?
I am back, baby. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
It's just, we were talking beforehand. I said it's good to see you, man. I'm glad you're I'm glad you're doing.
Oh yeah. I'm. You say Streets of Rage, I have to come out of my hibernation and just absolutely get involved in this.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I put that out there. I said, if you ever were interested, and you said, Streets of Rage, yeah, I'm down for that. You don't have to ask me twice. So that worked out very well.
Thank you for having me. But as a Super Gamer Boys producer, I feel like I could just come on whenever I want. But
that is also true. So I mean, if you ever feel like, hey, this is something I want to talk about, feel free. Because I could always use more people on the show. Granted, this would have been something I'd have done on my own. I feel like one day there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna have to do like a one-man show, and it's just gonna be me talking about the game for like half an hour. But I'll do it.
And you know what? It would still be good because I feel like anytime I have a conversation with you, I could literally just listen to you for hours. Like you just start talking and you're so good at like communicating. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And you're really convincing too. I mean, how many games have I bought because of you and never touched, but I buy them because you really talk them up.
But when you go back to them, you're going to be like, yep, he was right. Yeah. This is a banger.
That's true. See, the ones I do play, it's like, yep, okay, he was right.
I'll never steer you wrong. At least I don't mean to. So as I said, we are gathered here to sing, spoiler alert, we're here to sing the praises of Streets of Rage 4, the newest in a long line of Streets of Rage series. Originally developed, in the late 80s, starting in the late 80s on Sega, how should I say it? Genesis to some, Mega Drive to others, and has enjoyed a healthy amount of popularity and success over the years, all the way to Streets of Rage 4, which recently came out. It was a 2020 release, and actually not developed by Sega per se. It was developed by Dot Emu, and a couple of other support studios. And I gotta say that these are people who, when you play this game and you look at all the work that's gone into it, they have definitely done their homework in regards to studying the original trilogy and doing just enough to, not just enough, I'd say probably more than enough to make sure that they get the feel of the game exactly as it was in the original 3. I think this is the perfect balance of old and new mechanics. But I am going on far too long. Fellas, whichever one wants to go first, how are we feeling overall? Let's just do a little surface level.
Yeah, so my history of Streets of Rage, I didn't grow up with a Sega Genesis, so I didn't really get to play a lot of the Streets of Rages growing up, but I got to play them later in life. I just really enjoyed them. Soundtracks, the pixel art in those old games was just fantastic. So, well, honestly, when this game came out, it wasn't totally on my radar. I knew it then when I first played it on Game Pass because I knew Streets of Rage. I just wasn't like a huge fanboy of the series. And then I played through this game and I was like, okay, this is really fun. It reminds me of old school beat 'em ups. Very true to the style, and the art style in this game is just so unique and hand drawn and beautiful. So I really enjoyed playing through it, and it's a lot more fun with friends.
This is my first time playing a Streets of Rage game.
Welcome.
So I had never touched one before, and then you're like, "We're doing Streets of Rage 4." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Is it a long game?" That's always my question because I don't have a lot of time for gaming. And you're like, "No, you can beat it in like 4 hours or something." I'm like, "All right," and I did. I beat it in like 3.5, 4 hours or something. I put it on easy. I'll admit it. I put it on easy, but
I'm not gonna judge you, man. These games can get tough. They're
Absolutely.
meant to be. They're based on like the original arcade joints, and those were quarter eaters. Depending on where you were.
I absolutely just overall thoughts. It's a gorgeous game. The character models are fantastic. The animation style is so fun. The colors are fun. The fighting feels good. Like everything about it is just very good. Like cannot complain really about much of anything, I feel like. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with it for sure. I didn't get to play it with other people though, but that all changes tonight.
Hey.
That's right. I didn't even get to the good part. So this is a first for Super Gamer Book Club. We're going to see how this goes. So for our audio listeners, this is one where you really want to tune in either via video or on demand, wherever you can find it. We are going to try some live gameplay as we talk about the game. Because it's one thing to talk about these kinds of games. It's another thing to see them in action. So I got Garrett and I got Eddie, and they're both going to play co-op while we talk about the game. So that way you can see what we're talking about for yourself.
Let's beat them up.
Let's start.
Let's go. Come on, Garrett.
Heck yeah. Here we go. All right. Press A to start. Now, we're relying on you, Adrian, to keep this conversation going, though, because we're going to be focused.
Don't
on
worry
this
about
game
that.
And, okay, all right, cool. I mean, we're hopefully we're still going to be talking, but
let me give the audience a little bit of a breakdown. Here's the synopsis. You ready? 10 years have passed since the fall of Mr. X and his syndicate. The city has been at peace until now. A new crime empire has arisen, corrupting everything good in the city. It is rumored to be led by Mr. X's own children, the Y twins. Former detectives, basically the cast of the game, have banded together against the Y syndicate on the Streets of Rage. Let's go, baby. You gotta watch this one, man. The intro is so good. The music in this game, incredible. They have a mixture of all kinds of different artists, including some of the original composers from the original trilogy came back and did a couple of tracks for this game.
Really?
So awesome.
Yes.
And the music, this series has always been known for its tunes.
Yeah. It is sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it is. I remember, like, even like Forever 21 would be playing this music. I'm not joking. I'm not making that up. Like, for real.
No, awesome. I get you. But yeah, some of the I guess one of the biggest original Yuzo Koshiro, who did a lot of the iconic stuff, iconic music for Streets of Rage. One of the few people that I credit it's so Sega Genesis is very hard to make really good sounding music for because of the way that the chip is set up for it, the sound chip. But
Right.
Yuzo Koshiro is one of the few people I would say on the face of the planet Earth that can make the Sega Genesis sing. He is responsible for all the banging beats in the original trilogy, and he was more than obliged to come back and drop a couple of heaters for this one. You can definitely tell which ones are his because they sound like they were brought back from the original trilogy.
Right.
Also, my homie, or somebody I wish who was my homie, Yoko Shimomura, did a couple of joints for this game. Yoko Shimomura, of course, of Kingdom Hearts fame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So
The
as
that's something I never really thought about. That you compare like Doom on Super Nintendo to Doom on Sega Genesis, and it's way different. Like
yeah,
it sounds way worse music wise, and it makes sense that it has to do with the chip, because the Super Nintendo has some beautiful music on it.
Super Nintendo. I don't know how Ken Kutaragi was able to develop such a incredible chip for that system, the sound system. I don't think anything had ever been done at that level before then.
Right.
But man, he is responsible for the huge shift in the way that game music sounds from that point forward. But anyway, about Streets of Rage, of course. So Streets of Rage 4 came out in 2020 and is like I was saying earlier, is the newest successor in the line of the games. Originally started in the 80s. This one now, the new additions for this one is like a combo system. So before you used to be able to just hit for combos and it would just work, right? It would just register the hits. But now, not only does it count your hits as combos and it adds up to your score at the end, but it'll heal you if you use a super and you don't get hit while you do a combo. So that's new.
Oh, okay. So that mechanic actually I never really understood too much. Like I would always lose health and that's it. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on here, but I never realized that. So
if doing supers has always taking a bit of health. That's like the cost of it, so you don't spam it. And if you are able to continuously get combos off and hit people while not getting hit, then you'll gain whatever life you lost back.
So dope. I was going to ask you about the combo system because I didn't totally grasp it, and I still don't totally grasp it. But you can juggle a lot more in this game. You can do
this is the first time that you can, like, it's been implemented in that you can juggle. You can juggle people off the wall in a combo, off of other players' hits. So the combat system has definitely taken a big step forward, and I think it works very well, especially when I've never played co-op, but I've seen co-op videos, and the way that some people are able to juggle for like 300 hits is insane.
That's
Garrett and I just juggled that guy.
Yeah. If you are like already good at the game and then you get another person who's like eerily good, you can juggle people forever, it seems like. But yeah, that's one of the really cool mechanics on this one. And I love that even the story mode, they kind of kept the same campy 1980s, 1990s. Felt like, the B movies, like the grungy. You know what I mean? Like the cop movies from back then, or like the martial arts
over
films,
the top,
kind of.
Super over the top, but super like it's popcorn.
Yeah,
it's popcorn. I love it,
and I love that they kept that feel.
Yeah, they had to. They really honored this. They've honored the game's roots. They've honored the franchise, and they've improved upon it, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How other because how long was it since the last Streets of Rage came out? Like over 20 years.
More than that. I want to say it was like 1990. I will Google that while I am trying to figure that out. But I know it's been
shocked,
at least.
Garrett. Don't get shocked. Don't get shocked.
Don't get shocked.
For our audio listeners, Garrett almost stepped on the electric wire.
I almost went right for the wire. I even saw it, and I'm like, I'll be fine.
Now, while Streets of Rage 4 does retain that challenge, I definitely feel that it's a lot more beatable than the other three. I don't know if that makes sense, but for those who haven't actually ever played a beat 'em up, basically the premise is in the name. You and a couple of other people, normally like 2 to 3, are walking on a predefined space. There's enemies coming, and you're pressing buttons to beat them up in various ways, either in team moves or on your own with items, however you see fit. Some of the most popular ones are like TMNT and
Turtles in
X-Men
Time
and Simpsons.
Yeah. Final Fight was Super Nintendo's Streets of Rage. Yeah. The usually it's side-scrolling beat 'em ups are.
Mm-hmm. Streets of Rage 3 was 1994.
Wow. So
it's been
26 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
The year of Garrett. Weren't you born that year, Garrett? Are you 93?
I'm 93. I know what I was gonna. Has there been any spin-offs though? Like, has it really been that long since we've gotten a new one?
A mainline entry, yes. I can't remember if there was specifically Streets of Rage spin-offs. I know that it's definitely birthed. Like, you can definitely trace its DNA back to a lot of beat 'em ups that have come out between 1994 and now. But that goes with anything that is from that era, seems like, especially with people being our age today, because we played those games when they first came out, and now we're at the age that we can make those games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So our influence, or their influence and our biases are definitely going to show in our artwork.
Right.
But
that makes sense.
Yeah, this is the first mainline one since 3. So this was a huge deal.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a huge deal when it was announced.
Uh-oh.
Oh, watch out.
I don't know about you guys, but I rented many a beat 'em up back in my day.
Oh, who you kidding?
And they were all very hard. There were some frustrating weekends.
Yep, because they were all ports of the arcade games, and those were designed to take your quarters. They didn't think about, what?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, for me, like beat 'em ups, like this genre, really, it's never my jam. Like growing up, I didn't really enjoy them. Obviously, if I went to an arcade, I'd play them because it's like, oh, what the heck? There's nothing else to play, and they're fun, when you're in an arcade. But if I had my choice at home, like, I never really touched this type of game. Like, I was not a fan of the beat 'em up genre. So, yeah, like this really was a first for me, and the fact that I even beat it kind of blew my mind. I was like, what the heck? Like, how did I manage to do that? Because it's hard. It is a hard game, and especially if you don't have that history and that almost like muscle memory, I assume, like, or just like an idea of how the mechanics work. But
I don't know. Hey, Garrett, I'm low on health. I need you to pick her out.
Yeah, I'll get her.
Come on, you're almost there.
Even with like, not having that prior experience, like this game still was like such a blast. And
attaboy, Garrett.
Yeah, got her.
Good job,
Take
fellas.
that, Snake Lady.
Stage 1 clear. That's what I'm talking about.
Nailed it.
You were saying, Garrett?
We had
I was just saying, like, I really was it was really exciting to beat this game, because having not had the history and like growing up playing these games and knowing really how they even work, just kind of jumping in, it's like, oh man, okay, like it was very it taught you really good. This game in particular did anyways. Like, I don't know how prior entries would be, but I was really excited and really surprised at how well, like, okay, it kind of does teach you. There's a little tutorial at the beginning, and they ease you into it. Like, it does ramp up in difficulty later on, but at the beginning they do kind of like not hold your hand, but they kind of let you go easy a little bit, just to so you're not breaking a controller right at the beginning of the game. But
Turtles in Time is one of my favorite games of all time. Just so that's clear. So
a man of taste.
Okay, all right.
Now, I would have also accepted Hyperstone Heist.
I never had that one because I didn't have the Genesis growing up.
Right. I'm just putting that out there for our listeners, that if your favorite Turtles game is not Turtles in Time, I will also accept Hyperstone Heist, which is equal in quality, in my opinion.
Nice. We can all
Eddie,
agree
you
that
said you had
Tournament Fighter was not the best one.
Which one?
The Tournament Fighter, which was also on Super Nintendo.
Well, that's too bad because they put it in the collection.
That's a bummer. What were you gonna say, Adrian? Before I interrupted you.
I was gonna say now you have a little bit more history with fighting, I should say beat 'em ups than Garrett. How does this stack up for you in regards to, I say, the overall feel and presentation versus the originals? Do you feel like this could have come out at that time, or do you feel like it's a mixture of the two where they did enough upgrades that it feels like a new thing?
Yeah, it feels like a new thing, but also like if this game came out with the other Streets of Rages, it would have blown it out of the water because it takes the formula and kind of perfects it. It's super smooth. You could tell like it's like 60, it runs at 60 FPS, but it's also which is like not fair to compare like a game that's came out 30 years before it. But there's little things this game does from a beat 'em up genre standpoint that I appreciate. One in particular is that when you hit an enemy to the right of the screen, they don't go flying off and have to like walk back. Does that make sense? Like
I get you.
In a ton of beat 'em ups, you knock an enemy off the screen and they like you have to wait for them patiently to like come back onto the screen before you can hit them again.
Yeah,
and it's so annoying.
That's a limitation of the system though, because they had to load the level ahead of you. They had to keep that
right.
Yeah, so I get it, and it definitely was annoying, but that's kind of what we had. That's the best that we had at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, but like now it sucks going back to them because like you have to put up with that.
Yeah. I never had that much of an issue with. I mean, granted, they are. If we want to, do a cut and dry, they definitely are inferior now. But for me, they always have like that charm of I can understand that it's not as good, but it's not the game's fault that it's not as good.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's fair. But Turtles in Time is perfect.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
Perfect. Okay, all right.
Now, that's right. You've never played Turtles in Time.
No.
Let me have that. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
So you're saying we're playing that Cowabunga collection when it comes out, is what you're telling me?
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
There we go. Good strategy there, Garrett. Good strategy. Yeah, beat him up, juggle him. Yeah.
Look at that! Oh, look at that nice juggling. Look,
never.
You guys a couple of pros over here.
Never stood a chance.
We didn't even communicate on that, Garrett. We just naturally did that.
In sync, they say.
Telepathic there.
One of the biggest things that I remember was everybody was skeptical when this was announced.
I mean, it was like 20 some years between the last game and this one. People probably had very high expectations and hopes and dreams for it.
Well,
so, yeah.
All they did was show a few clips, like a regular trailer in the beginning, and then the developers were like, "No, actually, we're really serious about this," and they would do like a mini series of what they're doing to show their studying the craft and what they're doing to enhance everything, and people slowly but surely started coming around, and then the hype started building for this. Like they were showing how much they studied the original games, even like the frame data to make sure that it felt like the first three when you fight people.
That's so
they
cool.
showed how extensive it was for them to do the art style, which we're going to get into in a second, by the way, but it is absolutely stunning. And how they had to do the environments, and it was so much work that went into this game. One of the biggest things that always hits me first when I get into Streets of Rage 4 is how good it looks. I think this is some of the best. You can't even call it. It's just straight up artwork. It's not sprite work anymore. Has come out recently. Animations are great. I really like the character designs. Now, Garrett, you wouldn't have known, but this is actually the same cast from the original Streets of Rage trilogy.
Okay.
But they're like not way older, but a good deal older in this one. And some of them even have children who are characters in the game.
Okay.
Blaze doesn't.
I did
doesn't
notice
age. She still looks
that.
great.
Like when I beat the game, I unlocked a character. Was it Adam or something?
Yeah,
And
Adam was an original one.
But isn't like there's some character in this one that's his daughter, right? The other girl, not the one
Cherry?
that Eddie's playing as, but the
Cherry.
other one that you can play as. So she was she in the original ones or no?
No, she didn't exist.
She wasn't
Okay.
born yet.
All right. That's really cool though. Like the fact that you can unlock Adam though, even though he was he was an original character, you can still play as him if you wanted to. Once you beat the game.
One of the coolest things is, I don't know if you guys got to unlock it or saw it, but you can actually unlock the pixel art versions of the characters, like the original models, and you can play as that too. And you can put on the old music too from the original games.
Yeah,
so
I
that just
noticed
shows.
I saw that there was ways to unlock the old music and stuff. I think I unlocked it in a couple levels. But yeah, I really enjoyed too. I don't know if you guys did this after you beat the game. You can go like the extras menu and look at some of like the concept art, and like it's incredible like what they did, like, you know, creating these characters. And like you said, Adrian, it's not sprite work. It's straight up like, oh, this is like hand drawn, like actually like painted
Frame by
frame like models that they've created. And I don't know, that's just so freaking cool. And I mean, it's the same thing they did like with Cuphead. It's all hand drawn animation. Like when developers can do that, it just adds such a huge, like, I don't know, it's such a cool like extra layer to the game that and you feel it too. Like it's not just something that like, oh, okay, yeah, that's neat. Like you hear it and forget about it. Like it really does change the feel of the game. It's like yeah, not just like a little like animated sprite. It's like, oh, this is.
They did not cut corners, you know,
tangible.
like they put so much effort into
anywhere.
this. Yeah, so much effort into this game. Like so
And
much
it
detail.
shows.
I died. I did not
It's okay, you
realize
still
what
got
my life was.
What's the meaning of life, Garrett?
Now,
Not
Eddie,
realize what my
obviously,
life was.
we're saying that this game rules. I mean, which it does. But as we all know, no game is perfect.
Right.
Was there anything during your time with it that you were like, you know, that could have been done better, or, you know, maybe this could have been tightened up here or there, or I wish they would have done X, Y, or Z?
Let me keep playing and then I'll tell you. When I finally get tilted on something. No, there's not a lot to complain about this game. It kind of checks every box. I mean, for what you're expecting. Maybe like more game modes would have been nice. Like, but I think with what they give you, it's true to the series and true to what a beat 'em up style is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me critique this more as we keep playing.
Be my guest. That's what we're here for.
I feel like I don't know. Well, like I was gonna say, like difficulty, it is very difficult, but at the same time, like they give you so many outs from like being like you have the ability to choose a difficulty, and on top of that, if you're really just stuck on something you can't beat it, you can actually give up multipliers on your score, or like take hits on your final like stage clear score in order to get extra lives in the game or so. So like I actually did that on like the final boss battle, because the final boss battle is like what, like 3 or 4 stages. It just keeps going and going. It has to be done, and then it goes to the next one, and you're like, okay, it's done here. Nope, one more. Okay, I think it's done. Nope, okay, one more. And so like I was like, I don't care if I get an F on this level, like, or a D or whatever, like the lowest grade you can get. Like I just care about getting through this level. So I like took a bunch of negatives on my score just to get like 5 extra levels. So so I think it's like, obviously, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's a pro that you have that ability, but it is a bummer that like, I mean, for me, again, and I'm not used to this genre, as a newbie, I'm like, oh man, like it kind of sucks that it's even that hard that you got to do that. Like I got to like sacrifice so much just to beat a level or something like that. But again, that's just like someone who doesn't, you know, not one to really like, I don't have the long like respect and like even like knowledge of how this genre works and stuff like that. But that'd be my one thing, is this, it's very difficult at times.
I get you. My one big thing is that the cutscenes aren't voiced.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Now, were the old ones I mean, I would think not, but maybe were they? It's like, was that a downgrade?
Oops.
They had, I mean, you know, they grunted and they would say like the name of their super moves, but
okay,
that was like the extent of it. But even still, back then, that was still, you know, novel at that point.
And anytime you heard
But
voice acting on a Sega or a Super Nintendo, it was shocking.
yeah, I'll never forget
The last,
booting up Super Metroid for the first time.
right,
And that
the last
happening.
Metroid is in captivity.
Yeah, wild.
Star
but
Fox had the good luck.
yeah, and all their dialogue between themselves was just spliced up actual lines.
Mm-hmm.
Dang
it.
Yeah, I think that would be my big thing. I feel like that was like the cherry on top they could have done is just even if it was bad, like cheesy movie voice acting, like we were talking about, how it would fit that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I feel like it would have just added to it because it already has that kind of like really cheesy, like pulpy cop movie. Like, why not just lean into it and have like really cheesy, over the top actors? Like, that would have been so fun. But,
yeah, that's fair.
But I feel like I'm kind of like you guys. Well, at least Eddie right now. I don't really have a whole lot of, how should I say, substantial critique for this one.
Right now, I'm mad at
feel
getting
like-
my ass kicked.
What?
I said right now I'm mad that I'm getting my ass kicked. That's not the game's fault. That's my
These
fault
guys
for not
suck.
being good. Yeah, these guys are jerks.
Yeah, so
I don't like
know
these
if we're-
guys.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
complain.
we're
I
ready
complain
to talk
about these guys.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we're ready to talk about what enemies we hate the most, but this is it right here.
Yeah,
Really?
These guys suck so bad.
I hate
Big
these
guys. So it's like the big fat guy,
Especially at the end of
and
the game when you start fighting a bunch of them and they get really
Yup.
difficult.
it's horrible. And there's 3 different versions, right? There's a fire one,
Yeah.
there's a guy who rolls, and the guy who jumps.
This
Yeah,
guy rolled
that-
and blew fire, but
That's a beat 'em up staple where there's like a set amount of enemy types, and then they vary with either
Yeah.
their abilities or their difficulty.
Yeah.
So like
So
sorry.
I was just gonna. So that might not actually. I thought of it earlier and just forgot when you asked me the question. But that might be another gripe of mine. Is, and again, you say it's a staple, so it's like, okay, that makes sense. But from the outside, I'm like, there's not that many enemy types. Like there's a few, but you're right. Like in the end, it just kind of like turns into like there's derivatives of the same thing. And I do wish like there really was more of a uniqueness to things. Like that would have been cool. Because even like in later levels.
Garrett,
like
next food item, make sure you grab it.
Oh yeah, good
Just,
call.
just
yeah,
throwing
you
that out
getting
there.
ready. Getting ready to check out there.
Yep, right there. I was trying to get away from that.
Then I'll get the next one.
But yeah, like you're in later levels and you're in different areas, so you would think like, oh, I'm in a different place, like I'm gonna have different kinds of enemies, right? But sometimes they even like look the same. They're just wearing a different color bandana or something. It's like, well, okay, like what's going on here? So I don't know. That might be another gripe of mine. Is
His bandana's red. He must have a lot more health.
There's an apple there.
Ah! I hate Orange Cassidy over here.
Die.
Orange-
Right? I mean, he's got the hands in the pockets. He does the kicks.
Here, get this
Fair
apple
point.
back
I'll
here.
give you that one.
Oh,
I'm good.
full?
I got food. I got food. I'm good. I had a bucket of chicken. You can change your food icons in this game. In the menu.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did see
I changed
that
mine
in the
to
setting.
a
Hang on,
bucket of
let's
chicken.
see. Can I do it?
Yeah.
So we can have
I
apple,
never went in
rice,
there.
croissant, donuts, pizza, tofu.
I did the
caviar,
pizza and
pineapple,
the bucket of chicken.
eggs.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's super cool, huh?
So pizza and some
You get a
KFC.
lobster.
Oh, dude. Look at that cake, 25th.
A birthday cake or wedding cake?
Yeah.
I like
That's
chocolate chicken.
awesome.
That's great.
See, they didn't have to do stuff like that, but they did it anyway.
Cool
so good.
little polish. And then this lady was in the original game too.
The simp maker.
Yeah.
Simp maker.
Do I even want to look at the artwork of this that people have posted online?
I don't know if we have the correct rating to look at that kind of artwork, sir. I think I know what you're alluding to.
Now
You know how to use your special moves, right, Garrett? Like your power up.
that one? Or my other
YMB.
one?
Hit Y and B at the same time when you get close to the boss.
Okay. All right. Like this?
There you go.
Light her up.
Oh, check that out.
Yeah, go Garrett.
Now we're talking.
I think this game feels like it's a lot more manageable with 2 people. Like it's built
Yeah.
for 2
I have-
players.
I have played it with 4 at Funky Bunch's house. He has it on Switch, and 4 of us guys got together and played. And it was a lot harder with 4 people. Like, so many enemies on the screen. Because it scales, they add more enemies.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does it scale for difficulty?
It does, and it's hard to keep track of where you're at. Maybe that's one complaint. Like, it's fun with 4 players, but it can be overwhelming because it's just... And, like, I get it, though. Like, that's part of it. So,
interesting.
Is it really a complaint?
I gotta find
Not
some...
really.
I gotta find some
You did it.
some schmoes.
Look at that pose.
Oh, congratulations. Man, you guys are moving. You're already on chapter 4?
Pretty good. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we just beat stage 3. I think we need to make the Super Gamer Boys trip up to the Bay and visit Adrian.
All right. Sounds
Play,
good.
and then we'll do local 4-player.
Yeah. Good luck to getting the old man out of Nebraska. That ain't happening anytime soon.
You know, ever since he moved to Nebraska, that was it cursed the month of March for this podcast. Just saying.
Is that what it is? Are we tying this back?
Yeah.
Is it all JJ's fault?
I think it is. I'm pretty
Ever
positive.
since I got sick and he started that new job, it's just been topsy-turvy the entire time.
Telling you.
I mean, it was March of 2021 when he moved out there, right? So, I mean, a year later.
Oh, yeah.
There we
See?
go.
It's one of those
Now we're
12-month
thinking.
curses. The
Man,
Nebraska 12-month curse.
Okay.
Oh, watch out,
I
watch
remember
out for-
this one at the docks.
Watch out for Pink. Pink's gonna
You
kick
can fall in, by the way. I want you guys to be aware. If there's a
Yes,
pit, you can fall into it.
Oh,
You can also throw enemies into the pit.
Oh, I know. When I first did that, that was like, felt so good. I was so stoked about it. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this game's awesome.
Throwing
I was
an
not
enemy into the
expecting
pit.
that.
Yeah.
I was like thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm
Grab
just gonna,
grab that pizza, Garrett.
I was, just kind of
See ya.
haphazardly just
There it
chucking
is.
them.
I just did it.
And it was just so satisfying. Like, oh yes,
See
okay,
ya.
this game's good.
Oh
this is
damn,
good.
wasn't close enough. Adrian, do you have a favorite beat 'em up?
Ooh, of all time? That is a tough one. I mean, I tell this story all the time. I
Nice.
guess it would have to be Golden Axe for me.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Mhm. Yeah. 'Cause
Nice
my old
job,
man,
Garrett. Yeah. Yeah,
that was
that's
like not only the first beat 'em up, but like one of the first games I remember playing. So that would definitely have to be a favorite. But as far as others that I greatly admire, the original Streets of Rage trilogy is on there.
yeah.
And 4, of course. Turtles in Time. Garrett
Right.
and I actually beat. Oh no, I'm sorry. Me, Garrett, and Toby actually beat
Yeah.
The Simpsons Was it last year?
Yeah, it
On
was
what?
Last year at a coin. Is it called Coin Ops? That's the name
Oh,
of
you
the
guys
barcade?
played it in
Yeah.
in person?
Yeah.
It was a barcade in San Diego.
Yeah,
And
that's
we-
coin op. I've been there.
Yeah, we
That place
played
is
it from
amazing.
start to finish.
So
If
the
I had,
machine
like-
the machine was busted, and so you put 1 quarter in, you get like
Whoops.
5 or 6 lives or something like that. More than that, it was a lot. You get like 10 lives, and so yeah,
Nice.
and there was already a bunch of lives on the game that someone had left there. So we just like went to town. It was so great.
If I had like endless amount of money, I would open a coin op.
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Like, I know it'd be so awesome. Like, man, if only I had money.
I think that's something we all say, unfortunately.
I know, right?
If only we had money.
You got any favorites, Eddie?
Turtles in Time for sure. There was a game. Okay, so this game, I say it with the disclaimer that it wasn't very good. It was very hard, but like I always rented it, and it like lives. It just takes up a lot of mental space in my brain for video games. It was the Death and Return of Superman. It was on Super Nintendo, and there's something about this game that was just so like it was very hard, but I always loved playing it because you got to be different Supermen. Like you got to be Man of Steel, you got to be like the I don't know. You got to. There was all sorts of different types of Supermen that you were like throughout the game, and one person like wrote the passwords on the instruction manual that came with the rental.
That's awesome.
So I started putting them in, and you know, then got to play a lot more of the game. So whoever that kind soul was, I don't know where you're at or what you're doing now, but thank you so much. If you happen to be listening to this podcast, I owe you a beer.
You've done some good. It touched someone else's life.
You did the Lord's work. But yeah, that one, Castle Crashers, very good beat 'em up.
Oh,
Dude,
now that's one I haven't actually played.
I picked it up on Switch because it was on sale for like $4 one time, and I'm like, I gotta get it. I remember having it on 360, and then when I saw it pop up on Switch, I'm like, oh, I gotta get that again.
I definitely know of Castle Crashers. That's goes without saying. It was everywhere. I remember when it first came out, like it was on 360.
It was like the original Xbox arcade game, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was one of them. Yeah, with their initial rollout.
Yeah.
Yep. And people from Newgrounds helped animate it and stuff.
Wild, man! What a time! The Wild West of indie games, man.
Oh, not Estel.
Oh, watch out for the grenades, man! Here they come.
Estel's a badass.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Hoss.
What'd you say?
I can tell you. Easy peasy.
You could take her as you walked past her as I kicked her into your path.
I was getting ready to use my special, and then the cutscene started.
Another one I would like to give a quick shout out to was another Capcom developed one. It's called Knights of the Round. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that one.
I think I've heard of that game.
You play as the Knights of the Round Table. So you play as King Arthur, Sir Lancelot, and Sir Percival. And you go through the levels. It's a beat 'em up, but of course, it's high fantasy, so it's swords and staffs and spears and whatnot. But as you go through, kind of like Golden Axe, Altered Beast, you get to power yourself up as you go through the level. So you get better armor pickups, and then eventually you get to your ultimate armor where you're nearly unstoppable and you do ultra damage and stuff like that. And it's pretty rad.
What was this on?
Knights of the Round.
What system was it on?
I don't think it was on a system. I think it was just in the arcade.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Unless I'm mistaken, but that's the only place I've ever seen it. It actually got re-released in the. There was a Capcom beat 'em up bundle.
Let's go! That was awesome.
That was dirty. That was so dirty.
hey! Take the W where you can get it, fellas. Take the W.
That was amazing. We got we pinned her and we did the juggling.
That would have been that juggle would have been impossible in single player.
Exactly. That's why I think 2 players where this game's at.
Having played it multiplayer, like I said before, I didn't play it multiplayer at all. This feels so good. This is so much fun, playing with I don't know about 4-player, but definitely playing with just one other person. It's like, oh man, you can do the little tag team attacks, trade back and forth, juggle,
there's a lot more there's a lot more team speak going on with 4-player. Okay, we're gonna take this up here, you guys go over there. Okay, let's there's a lot more strategy involved. Because
I do appreciate the ability to be able to play 4-player.
Yeah.
For sure. Because, you're going to have those situations where you're going to have somebody there who's like, oh, man, I really wanted to play. Or you may have kids or something like that. So, while it may not be the optimal way to play, I do appreciate that they were able to figure that out, especially on Switch. I feel like that would have been really taxing there, but it feels pretty good there, too. So
it looks great on the Switch.
Now, this is on Xbox, PC, and Switch, and that's it? It's not on anything else, or is it on PlayStation as well?
I believe it's on PlayStation. I think it's on everything.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
It's on it's what was the Google one that came out?
Oh, is it on Stadia?
Is it on Stadia?
Let me look.
The real question.
Let me see.
If it's on Stadia,
it's gotta be right. It's gotta be right. Let's see. Is Streets of Rage 4 on Stadia? It is on Stadia, fellas.
See?
It is on Stadia.
You heard it here
literally
first.
on everything.
Get it.
It's literally
Stadia.
on everything. Because it's on Mac too. Wow. Wow.
Okay. All right.
I did not know that.
iOS? That's crazy.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh, got uppercutted. Watch out for that toxic waste, Garrett. You don't want to
Yeah,
inhale that.
Is no good.
Hey, watch out.
Ooh,
Okay, I'm getting
got
kicked.
you right out the air, boy.
Okay, all right. Well,
that's
all right.
teaching you not to jump.
Yep.
And I just keep on jumping.
Oh,
It's hard not to jump in this game.
This might
jumping
be
is fun.
So this level
Sucks. Oh,
is hard, but I think aesthetically it's one of my favorite looking ones. Like, it's just so cool down the sewers.
Feels very
Green
Ninja
colors,
Turtles-y.
All the
I love
grime.
it. Yeah, I love it. I love like all the graffiti in the background, the art, and so good.
boom.
And the music
Suplex.
even too. Like the music in this part of the game is
What? Don't get shot by that goo.
okay. I see.
Careful now. Oh man, what
All these Orange Cassidys.
attention to detail, dude.
I know.
Smoke coming from the pipe.
You need
Where it's
help,
shooting
Garrett.
toxic green flames.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll walk it off.
Garrett.
Come on, you got him.
I'm fine.
Garrett, you might want to hang in the back. Oh,
I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, okay, he has a knife. He has a knife.
Oh man.
Story.
Yeah, this game's great, man. I recommend everyone play it. It's on
Don't
Game
hit
Pass,
that.
Like,
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. You kind of don't have an excuse. I feel like, oh, okay. Well, I'm
at
dead.
this point, yeah. I mean, but it's definitely worth the purchase anywhere that you do have access to, for sure.
Where am I? There I am.
I almost bought it on Switch. It's $25 on Switch.
That's a no-brainer. To have it with you anywhere you go, absolutely.
Yep. Knife.
Nice.
Pick it up, pick it up.
It went away. It faded away.
Oh,
boy.
My favorite level, I think, or my favorite part of a level would be the homage to the what is that one? The Enter the Dragon, I think it was, where you go through so many rooms and then you get to the boss.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? It was like it was based in a dojo, and then you go like
Yes.
through room after room, and
Yep.
it's waves of enemies.
That one
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hard, but that one was
That
a
one
lot
was
of fun.
tough. But
There's
they
a
gave
bucket of
you
chicken back here, Eddie.
What's that?
There's a bucket of chicken over here. I was gonna try to.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
might
Finger
wanna
looking
juggle
good.
that. Oh,
Super Gamer Boys brought to you by KFC.
I wish. Oh, how I wish.
there
Or
you go.
Little
There you go. I was
Caesars,
gonna say, get in there, get some hits in.
Nice.
There you go. Now
Take
you're
that.
using your
Let's go.
noodles. Look at that, melted them.
This is gonna be so good for the audio listeners.
I know. Hey, we
You guys
told them. And go watch.
Gotta watch the video. You gotta watch the video. Watch me and
They knew
Garrett
what
tear
time
it
it
up.
was.
All right. I just love how this dude's just kicking the crap out of a wall for no reason.
I kind of
I
get
mean-
it though,
Totally
because
missed.
he's just kind of like, I don't really have nothing else to do. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
wait for the
So
rest
do
of
I.
my gang to get
Yeah.
here.
I'm just
And
an
all I know-
NPC.
And all I know what to do is to kick, so I don't have hands.
I've been programmed to kick. That's what I exist for. So Adrian, on the art, going back to the art style, was it like
Oh, these chicks.
yeah, they're tough. Was it
Those are...
frowned upon that they didn't go pixel art with this game, like when it first was announced?
I don't think it was frowned upon because the style that they picked didn't look bad.
Yeah,
I'm sure that there were a lot of people who are pixel purists, and they say that, the Streets of Rage series has not initially, but historically been pixel art based. I definitely think that it was it took some guts to change the art style this dramatically. And to basically double down on it at this point, because now you have to also what's the word? You have to retrofit the frame data on these new models,
What the heck?
but still make it feel new at the same time. And that's just the whole extra workload that they had to put on. Where did you go, Garrett?
I don't, I'm off the screen for some
it was like
reason.
it was like a cutscene introducing the chicken, the maroon.
I need some chicken.
Okay.
we go.
Yeah, but I think, like I was saying, when the Dev Diaries came out and they were showing how much work that they put into this new art style, and that it wasn't just a change to, hey, let's make it look different for making it look different sake.
Right.
Like they had a plan for it. I think that's when people really started coming around on it. And as we can all see, the change definitely paid off
Heck
big
Yeah.
time. Oh, watch out!
It's interesting. It's interesting because I'm a big pixel art fan. Like I love games that do pixel art well, especially in today's. Oh yeah, the kangaroo, and in today's landscape. But there's something about this hand drawn style too that's really appealing. Like Hollow Knight, it's not pixel art; it's hand drawn, and it looks beautiful. So I don't know. Some games.
Here we go,
really can pull
fellas.
it off.
Okay, this biker dude sucks. He drove me.
Have fun
nuts.
with all those supers that he does over and over and over again.
Why did I waste all my stars? I wasted all my stars on the people before, so I could try to save a life. But
Somebody needs to get the biker chick out of here.
yep. Oh, multiple ones.
There's a star.
Okay, I'll grab it. Oh crap!
Careful, careful.
Come on.
Come on, Freddie Mercury.
For our audio listeners, Garrett and Eddie have made it to the boss, and they are currently embroiled in vicious combat. I don't know if they're gonna make it out alive. They both have 1 life left, which is technically 2 because they give you an extra start or an extra life at 0. They got 4,000 points to another life. Let's see if we can make them cheer them on so that they can pull this off.
Yeah. Cheer us on from the future.
Oh, I can feel it. I can feel their voices. I can
Clap
feel
if
the
you
Give
believe
me
in
your
power.
retroactive power.
Clap if you believe in Tinkerbell.
I hear it. I hear the crowds roaring. The
Get ready. He's getting
stadiums
ready to shift into phase 2.
stadiums listening to our podcast and just chanting our names.
See, you're looking ahead now, buddy. You're looking at the future. You're looking at what's
Watch
coming.
out, Garrett. Oh no, Garrett.
I'm dying.
Did you die? Oh, no.
No, I'm alive! I got an engine!
There you go.
Come here.
Oh, I got kicked. I got kicked in the face.
Throw it.
Oh, I missed. Are you kidding me?
Garrett.
Okay, this lady is gotta go. I'm sorry. Oh, she
Nope.
kicked me in the shin and I just keel over dead. That was the best. Oh man,
That's
if
accurate.
If you're listening on audio, you gotta go watch that because that was fantastic. This is straight up like a tap on my shin and I just keel over. Like, ugh.
Hey, I got an achievement.
I
I
don't
got an
like
achievement
this
for
guy.
destroying all the motorcycles.
Come on, fellas. You can do it. He's over halfway now.
Come on.
I know. We
Get
got. We gotta be
outta
smart.
here.
We gotta be smart. Let me give me that pizza. Okay.
Pizza.
Stop
You might as
kicking.
well double
He
down on
was
him
like
now.
chasing me. He would not leave me alone.
See if you can get a
Fine.
good juggle going. There you go. That's it. Woo!
That's the only way we're gonna be able to beat him.
No, we're
Keep
gonna.
going. You're melting them. Keep going.
Let's
keep
go!
going. Hey!
Look at Garrett's pose right there. Ah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Super.
we live to fight another day, Garrett.
Oh, that was awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right, fellas. Final thoughts. Let's do it.
Final thoughts. This game is tons of fun. Now that I've played it co-op, especially with a friend. So if you have a friend to play it with, definitely get it.
Yeah.
Whether it's couch co-op or online, because we didn't mention that. Couch co-op, it's 4-player. I mean, we talked about that you can do 4-player, but you can't do it online. That's the weird thing. So online's 2-player, couch co-op 4. This game is a freaking blast to do together. The levels are so fun. Like there's a bunch of different environments like you've seen so far. We've started in the city, going through the swamps. I think you eventually get up to like a high rise. There's a dojo. You go to a concert and club, like all sorts of crazy stuff. So wonderful game. Definitely go play this game. It's always on sale. Actually, now that I think of it, I asked if it was on PlayStation, but PlayStation's doing like a spring sale right now. And I'm pretty sure I even saw it on there. So it's on sale on PlayStation. Like, go get this game. It's a blast.
Are you sure it's not going to be on PlayStation Plus 2.0 or whatever they're calling it?
All right. I mean,
Spartacus? Is it going to be on Spartacus, Garrett?
Project Spartacus.
All right.
We'll see. Maybe. You don't know. No one knows. Sony doesn't know.
I was going to say, even Sony doesn't know what they're doing.
Fair enough.
Eddie,
Fair enough.
what you thinking?
Final thoughts. Put this game on the Mount Rushmore of beat 'em ups. It is fantastic.
Ooh,
wow.
I don't think people appreciate this game enough. It's underrated. It's underrated in a lot of ways. It's fantastic. And all this is to say, I cannot wait for the Ninja Turtle game that's coming out soon.
Yes, it's the same team, isn't it?
That's right.
Ooh, baby. I can't be more excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be very good.
I'm right there with you, fellas. I think this is one of the best love letters that has been written to an inspiration of it that came before, but also was able to innovate and push the formula and the genre forward. I like Eddie now am waiting with bated breath for not only Ninja Turtles, but Streets of Rage 5. I really hope that they get a crack and they're able to do a fifth one. I say that they certainly have proved themselves here, that they can be trusted with the license and with the IP. And I am looking forward to see what they can do now that they've kind of gotten their feet wet and they understand the mechanics and everything. How can we expand on it even more outside of 4-player online that, to start. And I think that was a perfect place. You guys absolutely mollywhopping that boss to call it.
Yeah.
It's only going to go down from here because it gets harder and harder.
This is where it starts ramping up big time. Yeah.
Yeah. Eddie, as always, man, we appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much for being on the episode with us. I hope you had a good time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'd say our experiment went off pretty well. So far, nothing blew up.
Yeah, no, nothing blew up. The recording's still going on, and I had fun. So yeah, I think it went pretty well. We'll see what the listeners think, but yeah.
Garrett, you're always here. I don't really have to thank you, but you put this stuff together and you do the things and you turn the knobs and dials and all that and you push the upload button.
I make you all look pretty. It's all right. It's
well, I mean, you just take my prettiness and put it on platforms, but I appreciate that you do that. So today is March 31st, so I will be announcing the next month's book club game tomorrow. But there are people who don't check social media or who don't have social media. So I'll go ahead and let you guys know now that starting tomorrow, you guys might want to pick up a copy of What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, okay. I have that. I got it for free on PlayStation Plus. Thank you, PlayStation.
There you go. Okay, so you're already set. Now, this is a little bit of a pivot from the games that we've been playing recently. This is a little bit of more of a serious tone. This is a thinking man, a philosophizing man's game. I refuse to call it I think it's the derogatory term of like a walking simulator, because that's not what those games are intended to be at all. They are experiences that the team is trying to have you to go through, and I think it's very I don't know what the word is, but you're reducing the value of the game when you just call it like a walking. It's almost like an insult. So
yeah, kind of like when people call like Death Stranding just a delivery man simulator. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Wow,
that is the most perfect comparison, Garrett.
Just because it's nothing like that. Nothing
old wounds cut deep, don't they, Garrett?
But just for a little tidbit, if you're curious about if you haven't had the chance to look it up. What Remains of Edith Finch sees you as the title character returning to your family home after certain events have taken place. But things may not be as they seem when you get there. I'm just going to leave it at that.
I'm excited. I think
what a cliffhanger.
That's one I played maybe for the first hour and never got back to finish. So now I get to go back. I get to finish it. I'll start it over, of course. But I'm excited.
Don't worry, it's another one that's not. I told you when I do my book club games, I respect people's time. I'm giving you a banger on a time budget, so you'll be able to get it done easily. So the way that we're doing book club now is we're gonna reveal the game at the beginning of the month, and then we're gonna do the book club at the end of the month. So that way, if you want to play along and you want to have the game and you want to purchase the game and play it yourself, you've got plenty of time before the book club episode comes out. So you'll have more of a basis when we discuss things. You can be like, oh yeah, I understand that. And you're also welcome to share your thoughts in our Discord. We're always welcome to have an open discussion about stuff there. You can also tag us on any social media that we currently have. You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy. Garrett, where can people find you?
They can find me at gmorlang, and our Discord, by the way, is supergamerboys.com/discord. Just go to that. It'll take you to the link to join our Discord. And yeah, you can chat with all of us there.
And if you're looking to talk a little bit more, I'll say sports ball related stuff, you'll want to find Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie, where can people find you?
I'm on the Twitters at Eddie Martin 1190. Eddie Martin 1190. That's Eddie with an IE. I do not spell it with a Y like an uncultured swine.
Ooh, okay.
Just take it. Eddies with Y's are catching strays on this podcast. No, and apparently. No, and then Normcore Baseball is my YouTube channel. I upload some baseball content on there as well. I'm also the producer of a really cool show called the Super Gamer Boys, so make sure you check them out.
Not to mention that you're running our fantasy league.
I am. I'm running a fantasy baseball league for the Super Gamer Boys, so
you want to learn how to play? I don't even know anything about baseball. I don't know anything about baseball, and I'm joined.
You knew what a shortstop was. I'll give you that one.
Hey,
so you got 1 point.
I grew up with baseball around me. Like, I'm in the Discord. You asked if I was a fan of the Yankees. I'm like, heck yeah, I am. Like, you don't have a choice. I was born in New York. And you're like, what about the Mets? And I was like, yeah, right.
Hey, the Mets have fans, I think, right?
They have to, right? Because that stadium couldn't be free. Somebody has to be paying for that. And it ain't New York.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Exactly.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
I think we're going to call it there. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Garrett, what is the next one that's going to go free when this drops? You have it on tap?
Yes. The next one is no, I don't have it on tap, but if you give me like half a second, I could tell you.
All right, let me vamp for you.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, I've actually been replaying Breath of the Wild, and it is fantastic. I have put more hours into it than anything else. I have actually dropped Elden Ring, not in a negative way. I have just put it on pause because Breath of the Wild has consumed all of my attention. It is that good. I would put good. And Elden Ring is also phenomenal. I would probably put those games on even footing, but for different reasons. I think they accomplish the same goal, but in different ways.
So the next. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The next book club is going free is the Super Mario Odyssey, featuring Pocket.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be the freebie on our free feed over there. So if you don't want to support us on Patreon, which if you're listening to this ahead of time, you are, but
or you have friends who you're trying to get interested in the book club that you can say, hey, maybe you want to check out this. Yeah, you could do that.
Heck yeah.
Tell them about that.
That's a great one.
But all right, we're going to call it. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. We will see you at the end of April, and we'll be talking Edith Finch. Until then, take care. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed the episode. As a reminder, if you want to catch any of the new episodes the first Friday that they come out of every month, you can find them only on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/supergamerboys. And don't forget to check out our main episodes too. Those are pretty cool if I say so myself. All right, we're out of here. Peace.